at 8, and then we will, oh, great, thank you, Ava. Ava is recording for us, thank you for that. And then we will talk more about some of the biographical details of Venerable's life that I would like to share with you, and Cindy may have things she'd like to share with you, and we will do that instead of traditionally at the beginning, opening up with all of that. We'll do it at 8 o'clock when Venerable has to go to her next Dharma engagement. So it's now 7 o'clock. I want to just welcome everybody, and my name is Trudy. I'm the founder of InsightLA. If everybody could, for now, mute yourselves, we appreciate that. And I just will do the briefest of introductions. As I said, we'll go more into that at 8 o'clock. But I just want to say what an incredible privilege and joy it is to welcome Venerable Dhammananda Bhikkhuni, who has come to our Sangha. She's so generously offered her Dharma to us, and we're just so happy that you're back. And there's so much to say about her accomplishments and her life and what she has triumphed over throughout her life. And I'll just say that for me, the most important thing to bring to you is somebody who has a rich experience of life as a laywoman, as well as a committed and dedicated life as a monastic, who is also not just a mystic, but also a social activist. And this is what we need in our world. So Cindy, you wanted to say a few words, and then we'll say lots more at 8.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Trudy, and a big thank you to InsightLA for hosting us. It's always an honor, of course, to be, and grateful to be with Venerable Dhammananda Bhikkhuni. And I just wanted to say a couple of words about how this program came about. For 16 years, I've known Venerable, and we've always had casual conversations. They've always been intimate conversations, sharing conversations about personal issues, Buddhist practice, whatever. And it's kind of in the heart of that dialogue that this program, we offer this program tonight. You can see Venerable weekly on episodes of Casual Buddhism on YouTube. Those are just 15-minute episodes, so I'll talk more about that later. But in essence, Venerable will lead a short 10-minute meditation. And after that, I really encourage you to come forward, ask your questions about meditation, about practice, frankly, anything you're curious about. It's an amazing experience to hear from her. She's a wise, compassionate woman, and I welcome you all here. And Venerable, could you lead us in a meditation?
Okay. Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you, Trudy. And thank you all, the 28 participants. I look at the number on the screen. I would like to explain just roughly that in Buddhist texts, we read that there are at least 46 different kinds of meditation technique. You know, the technique to deal with our mind. The Buddha realized that most important thing is the mind. You have the mind, the speech, and the body. This is what we have to work with. But in Thai language, we always say, Kai Vaja Jai, you know, the body, the speech, and the mind. But actually, it is the mind that leads our speech and our action. And the mind, the quality of the mind is, how to say, beyond science, beyond science. It is so quick. As I'm sitting here in my temple, I can, within, the text says, within, you know, when I'm making a loop of my finger like this, I can already be in Los Angeles. I can already be in Washington, like that, you know. But this mind is so able, so quick, so fast to do things, yet it will do wonderful things if it is well trained. Very interesting, right? Very well trained. So once when you train the mind, then the mind works exactly as what you want. Oh, it's very difficult, Venerable. I cannot focus. I cannot concentrate for 1 minute. Don't ask me to meditate. I cannot do it. This is the response that I usually get from my students. It is true. It is true that the mind is like that. That's simply because we never train it. We never train it. Look at the monkey. In Thailand, they have school for monkeys, and they teach the monkey to, number one, that they teach the monkey to listen to the order. The monkey listen to the order, climb the coconut trees and pick the right coconut and use their feet, and their hands, both their feet to break the coconut. And then human beings do not have to climb coconut trees anymore. The monkeys do all the job. The mind is like that. When you can train the monkey, there is no reason why we cannot train the mind. One point of the mind that is very interesting. The mind takes in the object one at a time. Interesting, right? The mind takes in object of their interest one at a time. As I'm sitting here, I have a problem with my brain. My brain does not function properly. There's something wrong with it. Trudy, there's something wrong with my brain. It sends out wrong message. And as a result, I have pain in my feet. But because the mind takes in one object at a time, right now I'm talking to you. The pain is still there, but I do not feel the pain. Is that interesting?
Yeah.
Is that interesting? So I think this understanding will be very helpful for those who suffer from illness, those who suffer from last stage. Some of them have to take morphine, some of them have to take heavy drug. This particular kind of understanding about the mind, I think it helps a great deal. Just now I mentioned about 46 different kind of meditation technique that is mentioned in the text. Among all the religions, Buddhist teaching is most richest in this aspect. These 46 different kind of techniques can be divided very roughly into two categories. One is samatha, which is concentration. Another one is vipassana, which is insight meditation. Yes, the purpose of insight meditation is to allow you to let go. Let go of what? Not let go of the world, but let go of the clinging to the self, which from the very beginning, it's not there. We have been clinging to this shadow of that which is believed to be self. So with this understanding, insight meditation deals with that. And it is individual, very personal. When you practice it, the benefit is for the practitioner. And to be enlightened, you do need to go through this path, this vipassana path. But for samatha, there are 40 different kind of techniques for concentration. I will be doing another one in my own teaching class just after this. Concentration is important foundation for insight meditation, for vipassana, because unless and until your mind listens to your order, you cannot go to. It is very difficult for you to go to do vipassana. I give you an example like this. It is like you want to be enlightened, you want to let go of everything. It is like you are walking through the forest, and what you have in your hand is a knife, but the knife is so blunt. You cannot cut through anything in spite of the fact that your aim is to walk through the forest. But there were so many branches, vine that obstruct the path. You cannot cut through because the knife that you have in your hand is so blunt. Samatha, concentration, helps you to do this, to sharpen the tool, to sharpen the knife. So the mind, when it is concentrated, well concentrated, and do it at will, when you can order your mind to do it at will, your mind becomes so strong, so powerful. And then when you have in that concentrated mind, the mind becomes one-pointed, and you can remain. Very important. You experience one-pointedness, but in order to remain, to maintain that state of mind is another issue. So we always have glimpses of this one-pointed mind, but this one-pointed mind, how long can it last? How long can it stay? This is a technique. You need a technique, you need a training to keep the mind concentrated, one-pointed. Okay, so when you train the mind so that your mind experiences one-pointed, that is where the mind is very powerful. Okay, understand this so far. And then once when the mind is trained so that you can order at will, I don't want to do anything else, I want to focus on the green Tara right at this minute. At this minute, I am concentrating. I put all my energy to speak to you. Now we have 35 participants to speak to you at this Zoom meeting. I am fully concentrated. I speak with the power of my mind that I have tried to train it at certain level. So when I speak with my whole body. I speak with my whole body. I speak with the energy that I have gathered and delivered to you. So when this power post is strong, then the energy that comes out is also strong. The mind is like that. The mind is like that. So it needs to be concentrated so that it is powerful. And then after that, when it is powerful enough, you decide that you will do insight meditation. You will walk through this forest to cut through all the defilements so that you can free yourself from this clinging to the I, me, my, mine, clinging to the self, which actually is a shadow. Yes, yes. So I would like to sit with you now and we shall do concentration together. Shall we do that? Shall we do that? Okay. Sit back, relax. Relax, but not too much, otherwise you fall asleep. Very important that the spine has to be erect, and then relax a little bit. We can be with our with our breathing, because our breathing is something that we have it with us all the time. Wherever you are, you may be flying on the plane, you may be traveling, the breathing is there with you. So when you have the right composition, you can sit cross-legged if you like, your left on top of the right, right on top of the left. Sit comfortably in a position that you can be comfortable. For myself, I need to have my two legs up, then I can stay better. And then your hands, right hand holding on to the left. Do you see my hand? Like that, and then you put it at the center of your body. The right hand is the mind. The left hand is your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your body. So the mind, the right hand is the mind. The mind is supporting all the other 5 senses that you are getting. Yes, and then your thumb, the 2 thumbs, touching, just simply touching. I teach my students like this because, you know, when they fall asleep, you can see this, it goes flat. But if they try too hard, then the 2 thumbs are really forcing each other up like that. So this is one mark to see that the mental formation is at the right stage. just simply softly touching, but yet the two thumbs are holding higher up. Okay, that's how we keep our body. Like that, and you close your eyes and breathe normally. You feel very happy. You feel very happy with your physical body. You feel very happy with the environment around you. You have the good energy. We have at least 35 participants coming through this connection. Even though we are from different parts of the world, yet we are together. Amazing, amazing how we can be together at this point of time. Breathe in and breathe out softly. This breathing in and out is your life. You see the dependent nature of breathing in and breathing out. If there is only breathing in and no breathing out, you suffer. And breathing out without breathing in, actually it is an example of death, which presents itself right on your nostril. You watch people who die at the minute that they die. We say they breathe their last. That is breathing in and breathing out and no more. But because you are still breathing in and out, you see this duality of breathing in and out. That which is duality, there is no real reality in itself. That which has duality is not for real, because it has that dependent nature. Breathing in depends on breathing out, and vice versa. You know, breathing in, take in this air to nourish yourself. Breathing out, this warm air you are sharing with others, with loving kindness, with compassion, wishing them happiness. With our breathing, we care for the world. With our breathing out, we share that which is wholesome to the rest of the world. To your friends sitting in the same, sharing the same space in the same room, to your friends, even in other corner of the world, we are connected with our breathing. Just simply be with your breathing in and out. You are generating compassion. You are generating positive energy. You feel happy. How wonderful. Our friends also share with us this happiness. So we are a group of connected souls with happiness. you feel very happy and settled. But yet, sometimes the mind goes out thinking about something. That's fine. Don't worry. It's back now. Every time when you note that it has gone out, it's already back. Back to the practice. Back to your breathing, in and out. Simply watch your breathing without judging. Simply be. Simply be in the present. Simply be in the now. And as we sit together from different parts of the world, isn't that interesting that we can be in the present together? Don't be annoyed if your mind goes out here and there. When you note it, it's always back at the present moment. Your mind goes off here and there often. That is simply because we have not trained our mind. It is only natural that the mind behaves in that way. Just note. Just note. Do not get upset. Do not expect. Simply note. Take note of your breathing in and out. Feel the greatness of being together. How wonderful to be in this moment. It is moment of joy, moment of happiness, moment of positive energy that we share together. Remember this experience of being together. Try to make a deep imprint of this experience. This total being, this happy moment, this joyful moment. Within this moment, you notice that you are smiling. With this wonderful feeling, wonderful experience, please share with the rest of the world, those who still suffer, both human beings as well as animals. Let them experience the same joy that you have experienced in this sitting. Let all the negative energy transform into this beautiful, positive energy to heal the world. Starting from healing ourselves, starting from healing our friends around us, starting from healing 35 participants who are with us today. It is a simple experience of joy without I, me, my, mine. Thank you for being together. Slowly, you can open your eyes, feel yourself, feel your own flesh, your own hand. While we were sitting, there was no feeling, there was no holding on to west or east. There was no thinking of American or Thai, right? There was no thinking of male or female. It was just simply to be. This is what concentration brings joy to our life, to our sitting. Did you smile when you sit? Yes, it opens up yourself and simply be. Simply be. I see Lisa is touching her heart. That's wonderful. Yes, we touch our heart to nurture ourselves. Only when we nurture ourselves, then we can expand this nourishment to others. Now I go back to Trudy, my host.
Thank you very much, Venerable Dhammananda, for that wonderful guided meditation, and also for the teaching that preceded it. I loved what you said about if we can train monkeys, we can train our own minds. Yes, of course. And also about samadhi, being able to cut through the jungle of our thinking and various attachments. It was beautiful. And now I would like to invite some of you who are here this evening to ask questions. Venerable Dhammananda is available to respond to your questions about your practice or whatever else may be coming up for you this evening. You can use the raise hand function as James has just done.
Yes.
At the bottom of your screen in the reaction button, you can see a little raised hand, and it's easiest if you use that. You can also just wave wildly if you don't see that, and we'll call on you and invite you to unmute yourself. So James, unmute yourself, please.
Thank you, Venerable, for that beautiful meditation. My question is about hesitation about practice. I've noticed that even after practicing for quite some time and knowing the sense of relief that comes to me when I practice, there are times when I'm hesitant to sit.
Oh.
And I don't quite understand it, because I know if I sit that I will be able to find a deeper place. And yet still, I hesitate at times.
It has something to do with faith in the sitting. You know, I share with you my experience with yoga. I was not fully, how to say, I didn't want to do yoga for myself, from my own commitment. But there was a teacher, yoga teacher, who really said that, you know, it's not good for the bhikkhuni to be is fat and clumsy. You know, she used a word, very strong word. At that time, I weighed 75 kilos. So I thought, oh, I was 75. I weigh 75 kilos and I was really big. So I made a point that by my birthday, I must come down 8 kilos. And I did. So once when you did that, there is faith that in this practice of yoga, it would help me to be able to handle myself properly. And I always say that when I die, you know, I don't want to be too heavy for people to carry me. You know, they have to lift me and put me in the coffin. If I'm too heavy, then it's not good. So do have faith. Do have faith in what you do. Faith in what you do, that this sitting, you are not expecting for the sitting to be this or to be that. Simply note, it is time for you to allow yourself to be connected with your mind and to note the behavior of your mind. Certain days it is very nice, very settled, very calm, but certain days it is not. That is the nature of the mind. It goes up and down. It is not like today you reach form 4, suppose, you know, you grade 4, and tomorrow you will continue to grade 5. No, mental training is so funny. Today you reach grade 5 and tomorrow you come down to grade 1 again, right? But
yes.
But sitting is good. Sitting is good. It's always good that you are in touch with your inner self. See the movement of your mind. And eventually you will come to the point that you can train the mind. You can really train the mind. And see the monkey wiggling the tails. Huh? See the monkey wiggling the tails, and
yes.
You know it can be trained. Yes?
Yes, that the way you put that just really landed so beautifully with me, that allowing yourself to see what's going on in your mind.
Yes.
That's so beautiful. Thank you. It really touched my heart.
Thank you, James. And I noticed, Sally, you have your hand raised. Would you unmute yourself?
Yes, thank you. And I have enjoyed this teaching so far, so thank you very much for that, Venerable. My question has to do with concentration and the different techniques that you spoke about with samatha meditation. And honestly, well, what I'd like to hear from you is about what is referred to as open awareness, which I understand, open awareness or natural awareness meditation, which does not use a point of concentration as I understand it.
Yes.
Is that one of the samatha techniques?
I think the word you use, open awareness, or another word, what is another word? Natural awareness. That is another level. That is insight meditation. To be able to experience that natural awareness, simply be, you know. I think we are getting to the level of insight meditation. But samatha, concentration is training the mind so that the mind listen to your order. Yes, concentration. What I discussed today is only concentration. I did not touch the insight meditation.
You said that there were, excuse me if I could ask another question that I think is related. I think you said that there were 47 techniques of meditation, and there were 40 in the samatha category. So evidently there are 7. techniques in the Vipassana or insight meditation. Is that
yes,
correct?
Sally, thank you so much for your generosity. Actually, it's 46.
Okay, 46. Okay.
46. 40 in concentration
Uh-huh.
and 6 in insight meditation in
Okay.
Vipassana.
Okay.
But you have a question, Sally, about the 6 that are insight meditation, I think, don't you?
Yes, I'm just gonna gather that those 6 do not none of those 6 techniques in the Vipassana or insight meditation involve concentration. Is that correct? Or
Okay. For Vipassana, for insight meditation,
Mhm.
if you have the training of concentration, it will help you. It truly helps you when
Mhm.
you want to walk through the jungle.
Mhm.
Yeah, but just now I use this how to say
Metaphor.
compared to the jungle, walking through the jungle. Concentration
Yeah.
is important, but it is not the way out of suffering.
Mhm.
Say
Okay.
that?
Yes, I understand that. Yes. Okay. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. That's helpful. And I also very much like the metaphor of cutting through, using these techniques, samatha techniques, to cut through the entanglements which we find ourselves in so often, so frequently, pretty much all the time. Sorry.
Well, thank you for your honesty, Sally.
Okay. All right.
And let's see who else might want to ask a question. Please don't be shy. This is a wonderful opportunity to speak with Venerable Dhammananda. So either wave your hand wildly or use the reaction button to.
Mary has a question, Trudy.
Okay, good. Will you unmute yourself, Mary?
Thank you. Thanks, Cindy and Trudy. Venerable Dhammananda, my question is kind of basic. It piggybacks off the last one. And I want to get my understanding straight. So from my understanding, concentration comes later after you've done a lot of Vipassana. So I guess I'm getting it backwards. And I love what you're saying about concentration being the foundation, at which point you can move forward and really be effective with the Vipassana meditation. And are you saying that the samadhi or samadhi practice, is that the concentration? I think I've been there a few times in my meditation practice. I'm not going to say that I'm like, Miss Bliss, but my understanding is it's really the connection, very close connection with the body, a unification of body and mind. But would you correct me if I am on the wrong track here?
The word samadhi means one-pointed mind. Samatha is concentration. Samatha is those 40 different techniques that I mentioned. That is samatha.
Okay.
Samatha. S-A-M-A-D-H. Samatha. T-H-A. Samatha. And the word samadhi. S-A-M-A-D-H-I. Samadhi means one-pointed mind. Okay. So when we practice concentration, so that we have this one-pointed mind. This one-pointed mind, it can be both miccha or it can be the right one. Samma samadhi. Samma samadhi is meditation that goes towards the right view, but it can also be samadhi which is for the wrong view. Just give you an example of samadhi with the wrong view. Those who practice, suppose if they want this particular woman to fall in love with me, with the male, what they do, they use this power of concentration With this power of concentration, they try to, how to say, focus on that woman so that that woman follow him. That is also samadhi. That is also one pointed. The power of this one pointed mind can be both right and wrong. Can be both right and wrong. So that's why it is not a guarantee for you to for insight meditation. You have to start with the right view, samadhi. Yes, in Buddhism, we start the Eightfold Path. We start this Eightfold Path with samadhi, the right view. Only when you have the right view, then your meditation will be the right meditation and eventually goes towards cutting down the defilements, free yourself from suffering, enlightenment. Yes, it goes like that.
Thank you.
Cindy, do you want to unmute yourself?
Thank you, Venerable. And you've always reminded me about letting go of I, me, mine, and I loved how you did that in this meditation. And I know on a recent episode of Casual Buddhism, you talked about meditative listening. And I know this shared connection is very important to you when we're being in the present with others. Could you say a little bit about that?
Yes, we use this as healing technique also. We use it for healing technique. This, in the beginning of my talk, when I guided you, I talk about this being wholesome within ourselves, and then share this wholesome feeling. You are already creating this wholesome energy, and this energy, focus this energy and send it to other people. So that is the technique of healing. Yeah. Like when we do the recitation for the Medicine Buddha, Dhyana, we also have Medicine Buddha in our hall, a big one. We generally do this, generate this together, particularly when we are together. We generate this wholesome energy, and this wholesome energy can be directed to that person, that particular person who is suffering from certain kind of illness. So that is the healing technique we use.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And Lindsay, you had your hand up. Will you unmute yourself? Thank you.
Yes.
And then Nipapon.
Thank you, Venerable. It was a lovely experience just to be with you. And my question is, you just brought up the view. And so my question is how do we train in the view? Is it purely a conceptual exercise, or is there concentration and meditation involved as well?
This right view, Lindsay, you actually allowed me to speak on another very important topic, right view. Right view about what? Not right view about I eat a very good bread, a piece of bread. No, that's not the right view. The right view in this Eightfold Path talks about, suffering. You know that this suffering that is cause to it, and that is the way out of suffering. That is when you start the right view. And when you understand this, then the other eight noble truths, the eight noble truths, all the rest will follow from this right view.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think you're on mute, Trudy, but I unmute myself. นมัสการพระคุณเจ้า because I came from Thailand, so in Thailand, we really prioritize sila. So sila first, and then when you have good sila, you have samadhi when you meditate, and then panya will come. But in the US, most people focus on the technique, on the samadhi, how to concentrate, how to get enlightened, and a lot of them have no sila. So a lot of time I'm angry living in this country because people have no sila, but they become a teacher to teach mindfulness, and that's would you please explain the relationship between sila, samadhi, and panya?
Okay, thank you so much. Sila, samadhi, panya. Sila is morality. Samadhi is meditation, and panya is wisdom. You know, when the Buddha walked his last journey to Kushinagar, he was walking with Ananda, with Venerable Ananda, and every place where he stopped, the monks and the followers already knew that the Buddha decided to pass away. So this was his last journey. On this last journey, it is very important to follow his footsteps very closely. What did he teach? He taught nothing, but emphasized very much on sila, samadhi, panya. So Nipaporn, you asked the right question. You asked the right question. Samadhi does not bear fruit if there is no sila. If there is no sila, because you know what you have done without sila, without morality, your own action which you have been doing without morality, whether it is cheating, whether it is stealing, whether it is harsh words, bad words, lies, whatever, all these stay within you. It is imprinted within you. So as soon as you sit and meditate, all this stuff comes up and trouble your meditation. So your meditation is, we talk about the 5 obstacles, Niwon-ha. During meditation time, all these 5 obstacles start coming up, popping up, because you have not kept your sila. You see how it is connected? Therefore, it does not bear fruit. Unless you have kept your sila, your meditation will not bear fruit properly. I explain now. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. If you are drawing a circle, put Sila, Samadhi, Panya in the center, and then the eightfold path around it. Eightfold path around it. You have in this column, this Panya, you have Samma Samadhi, Samadhi, and Samma Sankappa. Samadhi is a right view, and the next one is right thought. Yes, this is in Panya. In Panya. And then the next one, Sila, you have Samma Vaja, right speech, Samma Kammanta, right action. Yes, right action. Right action, you have to be free from the first 3 precepts. Yes, you don't steal, you don't kill, you don't steal, you don't commit sexual misconduct. Yes, you are free from that. And then you have right livelihood. In your own livelihood, in your profession, you are not selling drugs, you are not selling these intoxicants, you are not selling poison, you are not selling weapons, you are not selling people, make them slaves. What you call so many prostitutes, you know, you're not selling women for prostitution. You know, all this is in your livelihood. So you see, when these are pure, only then when you Samma Samadhi, the right meditation will bear fruits only when the sila is pure. See, you have to understand the Traisikha. Traisika is Sila, Samadhi, Panya, together with the Eightfold Path. Yes, understand them together like this. Then, you understand. Now you understand why the Buddha emphasized very much on Sila, Samadhi, Panya, and how it is connected, very strongly connected with the Eightfold Path. Yes, thank you so much, Nipapon, for asking this, because I think it's very important. And some of our monk teachers in United States, they want to please their audience. When they give a meditation, they don't give precepts. Give precepts. You have to follow precepts, simple 5 precepts, in order for you to be able to do this, the samadhi, the meditation properly. Otherwise, meditation does not bear fruit, does not bear fruit that will allow you to free yourself from this holding on to the I, me, my mind, which is the real goal in the practice of Buddhism.
Yes, thank you. I want to thank you too, Nipapon, for your question, because it seems as though, the very most basic requirement for being a teacher should be the ability to keep the 5 precepts. So thank you for that. And thank you for your clear answer, Venerable Dhammananda. And Crystal, so happy to see you. Crystal's speaking to us from Hong Kong. Would you please unmute yourself?
Thank you so much, Venerable Dhammananda. Khun-kha. Thank you. It's such an honor to be guided by you in meditation. I have 2 questions. One is about jhana, and the second is about relationships, especially with those who cause harm to us. So the first question about jhana is, only in my recent years of practice, I really truly feel the importance of both samatha and vipassana together in experience. And previously, because I only access jhana just through Zen practice, it's very one-pointed. There is no further elaboration on different types of states of the different jhana states. And I know that in Theravadan teaching, they talk about different types of jhana states. So I'm really interested whether how this can be useful in the practice of samatha and in the practice of vipassana and samatha together, whether it's worth paying attention to these finer states of jhanas, or no, or maybe I don't think about them at all right now.
The first question itself, Trudy, it will take me about 6 months. The word jhana, spelling J-H-A-N-A, jhana. There are 8 altogether. There are eight stages. The first 4 is rupa jhana. Rupa jhana is with form. Jhana with form. Different stage of meditation with form. And the 4 upper one is rupa jhana without form. So very important that you ask this, because when the Buddha passed away, he practiced rupa jhana 1, 2, 3, 4, and then rupa jhana, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, and then he comes down again. Starting from 1, 2, 3, 4. After 4, rupa jhana with form, and then the next one will be without form. He passed away between form and formless jhana. Yeah, very interesting. So the practice for beginners, it starts with letting go of vitakka and vichara, and then it goes to piti. Then you have joy, and then you have happiness. When you practice, if you want to keep on this practice, you keep on this practice, because it's always good to reach the stage of happiness in jhana stage. Often people who reach the 4th stage of jhana get stuck because it is so happy, it is so peaceful, it is so blessed to be in this stage. And many people got misled thinking that this is nirvana itself. They get stuck there. You have to go beyond that. You have to go beyond that, and possibly you should move from this stage to insight meditation, to vipassana, So in the same day, Crystal, in the same day, sometimes I myself, sometimes I practice certain hours, certain circumstances, I practice samatha. And within another circumstances, then I practice vipassana. In order for us to finally let go of this suffering, we need to go to insight meditation. Yeah, don't get stuck with chant. Don't get stuck with chant. Move on to insight meditation.
Thank you. And the second part of my question was about relationships in our life and relationships with people who may cause us harm. And in our practice, we always stress kind of constant compassion and forgiveness, but I can probably guess there are also people here in this talk where at some point in your life you realize that it is also important to create some boundary and space. And I'm also interested in your teaching and perspective and how that can become, how that transition in a relationship can also become not necessarily joyful, but also fruitful for both parties in our path to liberation.
Yes, you know, the Buddha taught us about compassion, but the Buddha also taught us about wisdom. A bird flies with two wings. One wing is compassion and another wing is wisdom. If you are always compassionate all the time, you are a sissy. You are a sissy and you are always exploited by those who, you know, they always exploit us anyway. Just to share with you, Trudy and Cindy, 2 days ago, I was sitting at the police station because someone put my photo selling products. I was selling products of beads, you know, different beads. Vietnam, and I was selling, you know, I was like presenter for the beads. So I had to go to the police station in order to say that I am not doing anything, this stuff, you know, they need to clarify me. So by law, at least I'm protected, that I have nothing to do with that. So someone went into this page, they disappeared, and we traced them, they are from Vietnam. Selling beads. So now they removed my photo, knowing that I am already with the police. They removed my photo, and whose photo they put next, would you guess? His Holiness Dalai Lama.
I knew it.
So like that, you know, at a certain time you need to protect your right. You need to have wisdom to know in this particular case, what should we do? Compassion all the time does not work, you know. So yes, so guide yourself, compassion on one way, wisdom on another way. So two wings, Crystal, remember me with two wings, okay? And then you will be able to handle the situation. Your question is very practical, and all of us, I would say all of us have been through that. Sometimes, you know, lots of painful experience. Step back, look at it, look at the situation as though you are a third person looking at the situation and decide, this is enough. I now have wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Venerable. I'm aware we have one more person waiting with a question, but we only have 2 minutes before 8 o'clock. So you need to tell me if you can take one more question or if you need to go now.
Sure. Yes. I will control the bell.
Okay. Perfect. So then, Wendy, you could unmute yourself, and for everybody else, we'll have continuing conversation after Venerable Dhammananda goes to her next talk.
Okay, Venerable, it's an honor to be here with you. This is only my second time being in your presence and hearing your teachings. And I just wanted to share that I intellectually don't know a lot about Buddhism. Anyway, so intellectually, I don't know. but in my heart, I do. And when we were doing the meditation that you did with us, I was sitting there with a smile on my face the whole time. And you were saying, we are connected. We are together. We are connected in happiness. And that is exactly how I was feeling. And I felt like this the last time I was with you, and fortunate enough. And it's just an incredible experience. And I'll just finish by saying, I recently became a grandparent for the first time. My daughter had a baby boy who's 2 months old. And I found myself feeling like an infant in your presence when we were doing this, when we were sitting together, because I felt open, pure, uncontaminated, innocent, and just like, wow. And you are amazing. Your energy and what you create and what we have created, the 35 or 36 of us in this very short time period, is extremely profound. So I just wanted to once again say that, you are just amazing and such a gift to our world. So thank you.
Thank you.
Trudy, Wendy already said the last word. What else can I say?
I know. I was just going to say, Wendy, thank you so much, because you have expressed the gratitude that I think all of us are feeling right this minute for Venerable Dhammananda's teaching and for your time with us. We are so grateful. So thank you very much. And goodbye, Venerable. Goodbye, dear Bhikkhunis who are with her. Bye. And everybody else, please stay on for a few minutes. Okay, so hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We're so lucky, really, to have the teachings that come from just straight from her heart and her years of wisdom and practice. And it's such a blessing, as I said right at the beginning, for me, what I really love and appreciate so much about Venerable Dhammananda is that, she has had such a rich life as a laywoman before she ever became a monastic. And I want to tell you just a little bit about that. She was known as, her name was Dr. Chasumarn Kabili Singh, and she was a professor of Buddhist studies at Thammasat University for 30 years. And, she got her master's degree in Canada and a PhD in India. She's authored more than 100 books, if you can believe that. I'm trying to crank out one, and it's so slow. I can't imagine anybody writing 100 books, including several that she wrote in English, which of course is not, her mother tongue. And she was also, which is very also important to me as a mother and a grandmother, that, she not only was she a high profile academic with her own successful TV show besides. So this is a very worldly woman. One of the things she loved about becoming a nun was not having to wear all that makeup anymore and do her hair all the time for the, for the camera. But she also was married for 30 years, explored the whole experience of being a wife and a mother and then a grandmother now. And it's just so unusual for a monastic, for a nun, living a cloistered life now. And by cloistered, I don't mean that she never travels or anything, but that she is full on. Like she said, when I'm here with you, I am giving you all my attention and energy. I am fully here with you. And that's how she is in the monastery as the abbess, with her bhikkhunis and her trainees. And she is that way because the samatha and the vipassana are joined in her practice and in her experience. So, she has initiated lots of positive changes for women in Thai society. As I mentioned, I don't know how many of you saw the newsletter, but the BBC in 2019 named her one of the 100 most influential women in the world because of her real determination to reestablish, I would say, the Theravadan female monastic order and to reestablish that lineage in Asia. The female nuns, the women who gathered around the Buddha in that community and became teachers in their own right, powerful teachers, the whole order, that whole female lineage of monastics died out in India by the 11th century because the women didn't receive the same support as the monks. And so her determination to reestablish this lineage and to provide for women being able to go all the way in terms of their ordination and not have a secondary status. She faced so much discrimination and was targeted in the newspapers and really heavy opposition. And I found this quote that I wanted to share with you. When she was asked, how did she surmount, these problems and this kind of intense targeting and opposition and discrimination, she said, I surmounted them through understanding and compassion. Those who suppress women, I would add, or anyone, do so out of ignorance. And I love this part. She said, I'm fighting ignorance, not people. And that is key. I wish that our government and our Congress, and I wish everybody could understand that's what we're fighting, not each other. She said, spiritual maturity is very helpful to strengthen you and see you through difficult times. And when you've blossomed on your spiritual path, you can really help nourish other people you meet. And then I love this part too. She said, to ease the pain of the world, you need to be nurturing and mothering. We really need this feminine voice in Buddhism, in the Dharma. We need it in the world. And she is just a spectacular feminine voice. And as you could see by her answer to Crystal, this is a woman who's also extremely accomplished in meditation. Yes, she's an activist, and yes, she has fought for women's rights and to reestablish the Bhikkhuni order. And she also knows the Buddha's teachings inside out. She really knows them, not just intellectually as a scholar, but through the embodiment of her dedicated practice. So the privilege of being able to just interact and ask questions and have her here with us, this is huge. And we're very fortunate, all of us who are here this evening, just really fortunate in this way. And Cindy, I know you had some things you want to share as well. So.
Well, certainly, thank you, Trudy. Certainly, Venerable Dhammananda has been an incredible the voice of spiritual wisdom in my life. And I've known her for 16 years. I met her in 2005 when my family and I moved to Bangkok for 3 years. And the very first time I met her, it was sort of like what Wendy said, where she got right through to my heart right away. I started crying. And she sort of gently tapped my hand and said, it's okay. A lot of people cry when they first get here. If you have to weep, weep, because it opens your heart and brings down the wall and helps you to connect that soft part of you, that vulnerable part of you. And that, I think, is also what Trudy is speaking about and what Venerable is speaking about. When I once asked her, where does peace happen? And she said, it happens in your heart. And asked to describe Buddhism in one word, she said, the heart, because it is your behavior needs to be focused on loving kindness, though that we are open to the experience of the other person's suffering. And she's very much about, I think you all see that, she's very much about being in the present and very powerful. I actually wrote a memoir about her called Finding Venerable Mother. And you can read about my relationship to her. But the culmination of that was when I was ordained as a temporary seminary. And the two women that were sitting behind her tonight, I was ordained with them. They are, I think they're being ordained for 3 months. They probably are coming out after the close of the Vasa. But she is a voice in education and teaching women and women in Buddhist societies about the fourth chair of Buddha, the fourth leg of Buddhism, which is the women. There's the lay people, the lay men, the lay women, the monks, and the bhikkhuni or nuns. And her whole view about bringing the Sangha forward is manifest in the fact that when she ordained, there were approximately 300,000 male monks and no women who were fully ordained. And now today, 20 years later, there are 300 female bhikkhunis. So she's had a tremendous impact. She's also what you might call a Buddhist and a feminist and an activist. So she's more than, she's just many things all wrapped up in one. And I encourage people, you know, if you ever have a chance, go visit her at Sangdhamma Kalyani Temple, because it's run as an eco-temple. You get the chance to sit and chant with the nuns in the morning. It's, I'm looking forward because I'm going in January and I get to see her again. And just to be in her presence is such a gift. So, oh, and I also wanted to mention, you can catch her on weekly episodes of Casual Buddhism. Every week we have a guest. James has been a guest. Wendy's going to be a guest. Trudy is an honored guest. To just be in casual conversation with Venerable for about 15 minutes. And you can catch those episodes on YouTube because she is a real gift and I want to share her voice with so many of you. And I really am thankful that you're all here tonight so you can experience her and her teachings. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cindy. And, you know, I'm glad you mentioned the feminism, because another thing among the many that I appreciate about Venerable Dhammananda is that she doesn't sugarcoat anything. You heard her say, well, they always exploit us tonight. She doesn't sugarcoat anything about what it's like to be a woman in this world, but she also is really clearly not in an, she's metabolized those feelings and worked with them so deeply in her practice life that what you hear is, I'm fighting ignorance, I'm not fighting people. You never hear shaming or blaming, that kind of anger from her. And to me, that's amazing, having lived through what she has lived through. So yeah, I want to thank everybody who came tonight, and I hope that she will come back. She's been so generous in coming and teaching us, and I think that she probably will come back, and we'll let you know when. And in the meantime, yeah, you can tune in to the Casual Conversations with her and with Cindy. And I also just want to speak to you as the founder of InsightLA and say that it's just an honor to have all of you here with her and to share these kinds of experiences that we get to have. And I thank what InsightLA has become, because yes, I was the founder, but guess what? That was almost 20 years ago, and have been joined by so many beautiful hearts and the work of so many hands to make it what it is today. And if you feel like supporting us, come to our benefit November 6th. It's really close, just a couple weeks. And you can come to any part of it that you want. And I'll be teaching there, and some of our InsightLA wonderful teachers will be teaching there. And my dear, dear friend, George Mumford, is coming to teach with us. And my beloved husband, Jack Cornfield, will come and teach with us. And we have a really fun performance from Jason Mraz. I don't know if you know his songs, but he wrote 2 songs I had to approach him to ask him if he would sing for us at our benefit. And I said, Jason, I know you wrote these songs for InsightLA. One is called Living in the Moment, and one is called Look for the Good. And they're beautiful songs. So anyway, come to our benefit. I hope to see you there. And thank you so much for being here tonight, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Trudy.
Good night.
Night.